The inspiration for the songs because of you. The inspiration for the songs because of you. The inspiration for the songs because of you. You. It's for you. Can you sing it with me, baby? Can you sing it with me?
All right, all right. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Relationshipology with your girl, Lady J, and my co-host Keith Omar Jackson is gonna be a little late today, but I do have a guest in here with me, and I have another guest on the way. But before we get into that, of course, y'all know what time it is. We got to get those formalities out of the way. So let's roll it. If this is your first time tuning into the show or to JQLM Radio and you would like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in, be sure to tell them to download the JQLM Radio app on their Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live to JQLM Radio 24/7, 365 via Amazon Alexa, TuneIn app, the Stream and Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find located on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com. Also, don't forget to follow, like, and share us. We do follow back. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JQLM Radio. You can also connect with Ego Entertainment Network at EgoEntNet. That's EgoEntNet on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also connect with us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network, at youtube.com/Ego TV Network. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, listen, I think y'all gonna like this topic for tonight. So tonight, my guest is, of course, y'all know her from the Fat Girl Chronicles.
Hey, hey.
Right here on JQLM Radio. Leo Rachel is in the building.
Hey, y'all. What's good, people?
And as you all can see, for those of you who are also, for those of you who are, let me say it this way, for those of you who are being disobedient and not tuning in on air and watching us on social media, if you're not listening simultaneously on air, as you can see, we are back in the studio because COVID is over. COVID is not over, but it's died down and wintertime is over. So we are back in the building. And my other guest, Troche, is on his way. Hopefully he'll make it in time. My co-host is supposed to be here a little later. He's getting off work a little late today. But anyway, our title for tonight is But They're Your Family. So as you all know, that phrase gets thrown around a lot, and people use that, but they're your family, or but that's your sister, or but that's your mama, but that's your daddy. You only got one this, you only got one that. They throw that around lightly as if to say you are supposed to allow blood relatives to behave any kind of way towards you, say what they want to say towards you, be toxic, disturb your peace, be abusive in whatever shape, form, or fashion. You're supposed to overlook that just because, quote unquote, they're family. So, Tiffany, tell me what your take is on that.
First of all, no, because I don't care what part you play in my life or like you're my family, but the older I've gotten, the more that I've learned that you can choose your family. Like, you don't, just because they're blood, that doesn't make them family. And the older you get, I don't have to allow you to be in my life if you continue to choose to operate in this way. You operate in that way, and I've already set my boundaries and told you that that's not going to fly with me, and you continue to do so. Oh, okay. I'm gonna really enforce that boundary, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you live your life. But just because you're my family, that does not mean you get to treat me any kind of way, because at the end of the day, you're gonna say, but I'm your sister. Then treat me better.
So I had to learn that because I have people who are not blood related to me that treat me more like family than actual family. The thing with family though is, those who are closest to you usually hurt you the most, or do you, what I'm saying, do you more wrong than anybody else. So um I think that when it comes to family, we don't take the time to make sure that those relationships are healthy or develop them into healthy relationships or sit down. So for instance, everybody's talking about, oh, you need to go to couples counseling. You know what I'm saying? You maintain and work on, well, some people maintain and work on their relationships. You talking about you don't want to be with somebody that's toxic, being in a healthy relationship with that person. But the same thing should apply to, if not more, you know what I'm saying, with family.
To family. Yep.
So I don't know too many families who have gone to therapy, who will, a lot of people don't like to talk about or address issues. It's always what goes on in this house stays in this house. They want to sweep stuff under the rug. They want to make excuses. Another famous thing that family always says, well, you know how so-and-so is. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something, Linda. That is the most reckless, and I can't even find the word to describe it, but that is a way to allow people to never to grow, to never to take accountability for the way that they act or the way that they treat people. You don't get to just, oh well, that's how your mama always been. Let me tell you something. She ain't finna be that way no more, because in a minute I'm gonna cuss her clean out, and then we gonna see if she's still gonna be my mama then. You know
what? I think that when it comes to stuff like that, I'm the type of person where I will tell you about yourself. If you are one of my elders or my parent, and I've had to do this, I'll have the conversation with you in a respectful way. I'll have the conversation with you in a respectful way. And our other guest just walked in, Troche from Between the Lines, right here on JQL Radio, and he's also a co-host on the Fat Girl Chronicles. So he came down here from Chi-Town. But back to what we were saying. Just because you're my parent or an elder or an aunt or a grandparent or whatever, I should still be able to voice my opinion about how you're treating me makes me feel.
Yeah.
And in a respectful manner. Say what I need to say, be stern about it, and then disassociate myself. Because I get to decide how close our relationship is going to be based on how you treat me, especially if I'm treating you in a way that you're not reciprocating. So, but they're your family. How you feel about that?
I need you to say it again. Like, I just walked in on like the middle of your sentence, and I don't even know where we at. So to me, it sounds like you just said a whole bunch of stuff.
So we're talking about, but they're your family. I appreciate all y'all that's tuning in on air. I see y'all. I guess they felt sorry because I thought they was being disobedient, but so the phrase that everybody use, like it's an excuse as to why family gets to talk to you some kind of way or treat you any kind of way. Oh, well, that's your family, but that's your mom. Oh, that's how they always been, or that's how they, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that. And to me, that's not family. You're a blood relative. Because if a stranger off the street treats me better than you, not just in what they say, but in how they act and in thought and all that kind of stuff, then they're more family. They're more like family than, you know what I'm saying, you are, just because we're blood related. Don't mean that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. If y'all know, well, y'all know me. I talk aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But it's not cool. I'm not gonna say it's cool, but situations do make you switch up the way you talk sometimes. Like, once you get frustrated with a situation, then you find yourself talking disrespectful to somebody. But that don't make it okay. Ooh, all that we family stuff. We family, but I mean, I'm still a human being at the same time, man. I'm still a grown ass individual. So I mean, put some respect on it.
So, but when it comes to family, though, do you feel like you should have the right to, I won't say disown, but it's associate, like love people from a distance?
Oh, that's a 100%, 1,000,000%.
Because I tell you, the main people that people say that you should not do that to is like a mother, a father, a grandparent. Like, you only got one mother, you only got a father. Okay, but and it's usually people who don't have parents like the ones that you have.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a parent that has been physically or sexually abusive to you, you can't speak on that. If you don't have a parent that has like abandoned you, you know what I'm saying, or treat you like trash, whatever, you can't speak on that. And if God allows you to cross paths with somebody who is more like a mother or like a grandparent takes in, you know, a child and has raised that child, or an aunt, you know what I'm saying, or an adoptive mother or foster mother, whoever, that is that person's mama. That's who they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, look at as mama or grandmama or whatever the case may be. And some people can't understand it. It's like, well, you only got one mother, you need to forgive. You can forgive, but that don't mean I got to keep close relationship with you. If how you treat me is gonna keep hurting me, I'm now participating in my own hurt.
True. But it's like people don't even understand, like, you don't even think like that about a mother or something like that unless the situations that you just listed. Like, people don't just automatically think like that about their parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, they got to do something detrimental to you to make them even consider doing that. It's not normal. So, like, just accept it. If somebody's saying like, oh, I'm gonna just go and cut my OG off or something like that, it's a reason for that. So just respect it.
I think too that a lot of times people get this idea in their head, and society continues to push this narrative that your mother is supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, society never gives a mother the bad rap like that. You know, a mother can be the most toxic person in somebody's life, but but that's your mother. She birthed you. She brought you here, and it's like,
Nobody asked.
do you see what she be doing to me?
For real though.
Like, she just knocked my head between the washer and the dryer, and you gonna tell me, but that's my mama? Nah, I'm good on that. A lot of times, like, I've had the conversation with some friends at the barber shop, and they were just talking about how sometimes the mother is the toxic person, which in turn is the reason why the father is not present. And it creates a whole downward spiral of a situation based on the mother being toxic. The mother's choices to separate, to divide, to create this gap between the mother and the father. So mothers are a lot of times the reason for a child acting the way that they're acting. And then when they become an adult and they ready to separate, then it's, oh, but I'm your mother. I'm the person in your life that you should always keep around. No, ma. You the person in my life that's causing all of this pain and anguish and drama. So no, I gotta let you go.
I feel that.
Yep.
That's along those lines of kids not growing up with their fathers and stuff like that, and it's because the mother won't let them like see the kids and stuff like that. But also relationship wise, father's probably not around and stuff like that, but it's a situation that you didn't understand when you was a kid. When you become an adult and you start dating and stuff, then you be like, nah, moms, you was the problem. You was the problem.
I see why my daddy gone.
You ran buddy off. I see what happened now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's not the situation with my OG. So moms, if you watching, I ain't talking about you.
But that is true though, because like I have a different dynamic. You know, a lot of people who know my story, you know what I'm saying, know what my story is. And for me, it wasn't just my mother. Like my sisters and I, we grew up very, very, very close. Like we you know, inseparable. But again, the parent being the toxic person, you know what I'm saying, caused that, you know, that separation. And when you have people that you love dearly and they don't, as we were talking about yesterday on Troche, Wednesday on Troche show, when they're not taking accountability for their actions and being responsible for their role in certain things and how you shape your kids and, you know, what you pour into them and how you treat them, that will cause a person to not just become broken mentally but emotionally too, and then they're not able to form healthy relationships with other people. And even when you have someone come into your life to fulfill that role as a mother or mother figure or a father figure, now it's difficult for you to do that. And I had my father on here a couple years ago, and he was talking about, he shared a little bit about his story, where he was adopted, you know what I'm saying, and his adoptive mother is who I know as grandma, but he could never really reciprocate the love and care that she gave him because he was so worried about and harping on his biological mother giving him up, you know what I'm saying, and not being there for him. But she went and got the rest of her kids. She developed relationships with the rest of her kids. But I told him, God set you apart and gave you something that they didn't have. Look at what they grew up in and look at what you got. And I had to see, I saw myself in that same light. But because he wanted the toxicity, you know what I'm saying, or just wanted that interaction, he couldn't fully accept that. And that's what a lot of parents too, and they don't necessarily have to be parents, but the parents are the ones that people always say, you know what I'm saying, it don't matter, that's your mama, it don't matter. Well, no, it does matter, you know what I'm saying, because they play a big role in who you become and how you operate, especially if you don't have people or resources that you know about to help you navigate through that and learn what it means to love somebody from a distance, because that's difficult for a lot of people to do.
I get that though, as far as your pops was concerned. How you gonna go get all the other kids and not me? Like, come on, man. Like, I feel some type of way forever. I'm not gonna even lie. But even if my situation turned out I'm better, like, you still chose to single me out and not come get me. You went and got 19 kids and you gonna leave me out?
But that's a blessing though. If you think about it, that's a blessing. So here's, would you want to grow up in drug infested upbringing and all this other kind of stuff versus and now I will say my grandma is saved and sanctified. She's a minister and all that kind of stuff, but she gave her all and she fostered 92 boys across her whole entire lifetime. But she chose a few were chosen to be adopted, and he was one of them. And she had a husband. They couldn't have kids. So she had a husband, and they poured everything into him. And I know what it's like to want to feel wanted by your parents, and you don't. But I also know what my grandmother and my godmother poured into me. They stepped into that role, and that had to be enough. And if it wasn't enough for me, I probably would have ended up like him, with drugs and an addict and everything else.
I feel you.
Right, but I also think like that comes with experience and you having to be on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? Because like Troche said, you went and got all these other kids, but you didn't come back and get me. So what made me what looks like the bad seed or the one that you did not want? And it's just like a basic human emotion to want to be wanted or want to be needed. And because you aren't giving me that and you aren't showing me what I think my mother should be showing me, I feel some type of way. Because I feel like if my mother had all 5 of us and left me somewhere in the wilderness and then was like, all right, come on, the rest of y'all, I'd be like, hold on, shorty, we gotta come back, come here, let me ask you something. Because when I couldn't
that's somebody be trying to whistle,
I can't, that's why I be like, come here. Because now I got some questions. Now I need you to tell me. Now I need you to tell me what made me the outcast. You know what I'm saying? And then there's always an outcast in every family anyway, you know. But then to be just not contacted, or, you know, you got a whole different family and this is our family over here and we're building this family without you. I can understand the feelings. And then being a man, that's a whole different type of thing. You know, your mother. So
his father died when he was very young.
Yeah, so like that's another factor. All these different factors played into like who he became and what made him the person that he is. And so I can't say that I don't understand. Like I fully understand. Like sometimes you go down this path because nobody loved you. And then like you said, he wanted the toxicity. I don't even think it's that. The toxicity was his normal. So he was craving what was normal to him, which which made him combat, the love that he was being given.
Man, all right, this is getting deep. So we're gonna take a break real quick, y'all. But stick and stay, because when we come back, we're gonna continue the conversation on "But They're Your Family." What do you think? What's your thoughts? Are you or someone you know accomplishing some amazing things in the community, or is just an inspiration to many? Apply to be featured on the cover of Ego Magazine, a bi-monthly digital interactive publication under the Ego Entertainment Network brand. Apply to be featured in other sections such as education, business, media and entertainment, community leader, author of the month, or artist of the month. Visit www.egoentertainmentnet.com to apply today. Track Island Beat by Arulo. Attention all artists. JQLM Radio would love to support and put your music into rotation. If you would like your music added to the rotation, send your music in MP3 format to jqlmradio@gmail.com and include your song title, artist name, genre, and indicate whether it is the clean or explicit version. Or visit www.egoentertainmentnet.com/JQLM-radio and complete the form. R&B, hip-hop, gospel, and pop genres are accepted. Then simply share JQLM Radio with your family, friends, and fans so they can tune in and support you too. Remember, JQLM Radio supports you as you support us. JQLM Radio, real voices, raw entertainment, and relevant topics. Track Ambush by Pratt's Act and Idifia on SoundCloud.com/Pratt's Act. Music promoted by freestockmusic.com. Are you in need of a fresh perspective on relationships, wholeness, love, and transformation? Or are feeling consumed with hurts from the past and finding it difficult to overcome traumatic events? Well, contact licensed marriage and family therapist Sharon Mason of Love That Relationship. She can get you back on the road to building a healthy and loving relationship with yourself and others. Love That Relationship. All right, and we are back, and you are tuned into Relationshipology with your girl, Lady J, and Keith Omar Jackson right here on JQLM Radio, a division of Ego Entertainment Network, and we've been talking about But They're Your Family. Listen, if y'all just tuned in, it was getting a little deep up in here, so we were talking about how a lot of people tell you, well, you only got one mama, you only have one dad, you know, they're your family, you excuse certain behaviors and you are supposed to go along with it and just let them be because that's how they've always been. And I think one of the most dangerous things that you can do as an individual when it comes to your own emotional and mental health is continue, especially for the African American community, because we know there's already a stigma when it comes to getting therapy or a psychiatrist or something and addressing those issues, or even mentoring, you know, from kids, like preventative measures. There's already a stigma where you're not supposed to be, we look at it as telling your business. I think one of the most dangerous things that you can do in regards to your emotional and mental health is to accept being treated badly, is to accept being treated less than an individual, less than a person, to accept that you are unworthy of love and things of that sort. That leads to a very dangerous, I'll say, place emotionally and mentally. And this is why you have so many kids feeling like there's no way out. They're committing suicide at a much younger, age and things of that sort. And so I think we have to do better at not just sweeping stuff under the rug. Mm-hmm. And parents need to do a better job of not presenting themselves as a perfect entity, if you will. My kids have constantly, I used to have one of my kids, their grandparents used to get on me and say, you share too much. You tell your kids too much. No, I'm telling them exactly what I want them to hear. They need to know the things that I've been through, the things that happened to me. And I do tell them in detail, especially now that they're older, they're old enough to understand. Because when I'm teaching them what not to do, I need them to understand that this is what happens when you do this. And I did this, but this is why I did this. I didn't know any better, or this was a learned behavior, or this is a response or reaction to something. So I think that it is very dangerous for us to continue to allow people to mistreat us, walk all over us, take advantage of us just because you were a cousin, a sister, a brother, in the biological sense.
Mhm.
When I have someone over here who just met me and they don't want anything from me, and all they have been doing is loving on me and comforting me and encouraging me and pushing me and being there for me. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who I consider family. So what do y'all think about that?
As far as the aspect of treating a non-family member more than family.
Yeah, would you say that that when you encounter someone who embodies everything that family should be, that you shouldn't feel bad about, you know what I'm saying, taking them on and calling them family?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I mean, people always saying like the blood is thicker than water or whatever, but I mean that's in theory. Yeah, like if you scooping water and you scooping blood, yeah, like literally, yeah. But no, I mean, it depends on your actions and how y'all treat each other, how y'all interactions are with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because like we started with, family will treat you dirty. A lot of family will treat you dirty. It's a whole bunch of situations out here where your family will just act like you a stranger on the street. For real. Ain't strangers on the street to treat you better than your real family. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this. I think it has a lot to do with, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not harping on people's, family members, but we're going to call a spade, period. Because there are some people, some families who get along well, who are, you know what I'm saying, great. But everybody got that one or two people, you know what I'm saying, in their family. Family also has a big thing about they wait until somebody dying or has died, then they want to come together. But that only lasts for so long. You know what I'm saying? I experienced that when I had the ruptured brain aneurysm. People I hadn't talked to, I had cut off family anyway, like before that, for obvious reasons. But when I was dying, everybody showed up. And I'm like, but that was the last time I heard of them. And so, but there were people who had only been in my life for, let's say 18 years or 3 years or 2 years that showed up, that was helping with my kids, that, you know what I'm saying, when a message went out about needing help to get some of my meds from when I left the hospital, not one biological family member pitched in, not one. So, but then biological family feels some type of way when you don't claim them as family, but you claim it all these other people. Oh, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my cousin, because they act like it. You know what I'm saying? They act like it. So what do y'all say to family members, biological family members, who feel some type of way when they want that connection or relationship with you, but they don't want to meet those standards or those expectations?
It usually be the person who doing the bull that feels some kind of way when you bring in an outsider and saying that they family. They feel some kind of way on the inside for a reason. Why I cut you. But they want to make all kind of excuses for why they did what they did and expect you to just accept that. No, I'm good.
I think sometimes even with the upbringing, like even when people are younger, like they battle it out and the parents never actually try to intercede and make that relationship or try to make that a healthier relationship. When they are kids and they battling and they always have this sibling rivalry, some parents just let it go on and go on and go on. And then when they become adults, they don't want to have nothing to do with each other. And then they do feel some type of way because you out here calling everybody else brother or sister. And I didn't try to reach out and try to talk to you and try to create a relationship, but you're not allowing me that space. So sometimes it could be the upbringing. Because I know when me and my sister, my older sister, when we were younger, Oh, baby, we couldn't stand each other because you know what I'm saying. I was the reason I was the kid that my mom was like, "Oh, before you go outside, you gotta comb her hair." You know, while my mama at work during the summertime. I mean, I could have combed it, but we know what happened when I tried to do it. I just went on and cut a whole ponytail off, so it wouldn't have to get done. So there's that.
Oh, what Danielle Phoenix Lee says is it's so common. Hey, Dodie G. Michelle Jackson says, "Hey y'all, hey
Cliff, what up? Cliff
I agree with what you just said. Also, though, I think too. On the flip side of that, what do y'all think about rekindling, or I'll say restoring relationships? So for me, I'm not one now. Before, depending upon who the person is, because you can tell when somebody is just set in their ways. They're not going to change, period, unless they have an encounter with God, a life altering experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had people who I have restored to one person actually in my whole entire family who I have restored relationship with because they took accountability for their actions in the situation that caused us to separate in the first place. And I think for me personally, and a lot of families may this may be the reason why a lot of families don't get along and why people tend to go towards other people who are not biological for family, is because when you start speaking your truth and you start unveiling things that aren't no longer under the rug, people start feeling some type of way. But if you weren't a part of that story or part of that, you know what I'm saying, you got to be mad at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And or because they don't want to be seen in a certain light, or you know how sometimes cousins can be thick as thieves, you know what I'm saying? So somebody in the family, now they mad at you and now they trying to get everybody else, you know what I'm saying, hopping on that bandwagon. So what do y'all think about restoring relationships with family members, even if they are still connected to the family members that you don't associate with?
I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to at least try. Because right now I've disconnected. If they're reaching out and I want to try, then I know for me, I will meet you halfway. If you say I want to try, okay, I'm a too. But that at this point in my life, I'm gonna just go ahead and let you be. If it's to restore this relationship, if I've tried and we still up here tussling like Tom and Jerry, okay, go ahead. I'm good. I'm good. I don't even want to do it. Like I like my peace, so you can go ahead about your business. We ain't got to do this. Love you.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna have to see some change. Like, you can't be that same person that made me cut you off in the first place and still think I'm finna like reconnect with that. Mm-hmm. I need to see something different in you. I need to see effort in you trying to be different. Something. I just can't.
Because there's no sense of trying to restore a relationship with somebody if they are the same that they were before. I know I'll say two people. So I grew up without my father. I knew who he was, what he looked like, but I didn't know him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't around. He used to, from what I remember, he would say he was coming, on his way and then wouldn't show up. Or out the blue, I see him by happenstance every couple years going over grandma's house trying to catch him. Could never catch him over there, So but when he reached out to me, I had to forgive him though. I had to accept the apology I would never get from my mom and my dad, and in order to move forward. I had to accept the apology from that I would never get, like from my sisters, from people who period, just to move forward and to be in a better space mentally and emotionally and continue to grow for myself. Now, at 30 years old, though, I think probably 8 was the last time I saw my dad before I started seeing him like every couple years by happenstance. I'm 38. So at 30, he found me and reached out to me and was like, had sat down, had a conversation, and I could understand like why he was the way he was. So that allowed me to accept him for who he was and understand that who he was had nothing to do with me. And so because I had already forgiven him, I was able then to say, okay, I'll give you a chance to develop, to have a relationship with me, have a relationship with your grandkids, and see how that goes. Now, I'm going off of what I know about you. So I'm not expecting to see change. So I'm not going to be affected either way.
Mm-hmm.
But when I start to see you be consistent in your change, okay, so you really did get yourself together. But then you started relapsing and going back. Again, I already knew that was going to be, something. But once you start to see changing, then you get comfortable. And then that person, switches back up. But if you know their struggle or why, I'm saying they are the way they are, then it should be a little bit easier for you to try to work on that and restore the relationship. And then you have to learn, though, too, when it's time to just take a step back and take your hands off. So I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with when they are trying to restore a relationship. Because if you are like reaching out to somebody saying, hey, let's link up, or hey, let's do this, and they say, okay, but they never show up, or they never call back, or they never do this, then after a while of that, you're going to be like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like Tiffany said, like, yeah, nah, I'm good, because it ain't going nowhere. So, what do y'all think? Well, I'll say, what tips can y'all give people to determine when they should love people from a distance, and how? Because when you say love people from a distance, some people be like, well, what does that mean, or how do I do that? In your own words, kind of share, what do y'all think that means, or how would you tell somebody how to love somebody from a distance?
I mean, you can still love them, have love for them, but those are not the people you got to talk to consistently. Those are not the people that you got to always be reaching out to. Like, hey, let's go to dinner. Nah, we ain't got to go to dinner. We ain't even got to have a conversation. I love you. I wish you the best in life. Peace. Like, like that's it. Loving people from a distance just simply means like you love them, but you don't have to deal with them. You don't have to interact with them. You don't have to actually have an active relationship with that person. It could literally just be, I'm your family, you're my family. That's it. Like,
Hope nothing
treat
bad
them
happened to you.
right. Treat them like the cousins that you don't know. That's like down south. That everybody got a whole cluster of cousins down south that they don't know nothing about. Treat them like you treat them. I don't know nothing about them. So, am I gonna feel some type of way if I don't talk to them? Nope. I'm not gonna feel no way if I don't talk to you neither. So, love you, peace.
Yeah,
That's it.
I second that. For real, for real.
I think I'm the type of person though too. I love you from a distance, but if you needed something, like if you needed some food or something like that, you hungry and ate them. I'm saying,
just because we have morals and hearts and stuff like that. So we're not just gonna like see you laying under a bridge, like in a tent, and be like, "Oh yeah, you're my first cousin" or something like that. It'd be like, "All right, goodbye." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Here go a box of Cheerios. See you later.
Not even like stop it, just throw it out the window on your way driving back. Like,
dang it, you couldn't even give them honey nut. You're just gonna give them the regular ones.
Because we're decent human beings, then you know what I'm saying. We probably go to that take that next step toward seeing them doing well.
Yeah.
So for people that want to have the conversation of with a family member, a biological family member that feel like they need to disconnect or sever ties or whatever the case may be, but they have a hard time letting go, what would you say to them, and when is a good time to disconnect? Should they have to explain themselves?
Nah, I feel like if you put me in a certain mood every time I talk to you or see you or whatever, then I'm gonna need to go ahead and distance myself from that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm happy, and then soon you come around, like my whole energy just got to change just to deal with you. Yeah, it depends. I don't think it's like a cookie cutter thing. I think you just got to judge it off like how much you gonna deal with.
Yep.
You could say in one thing.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching us on social media, yeah, we don't know. It was some technical difficulties, but we back on. So
Get back on and see us.
For those of you who are watching on my personal page, if y'all commented, I'll get back to y'all after the show. But so we are going to take a really quick commercial break and we'll be right back. You are tuned into Relationshipology with your girl, Lady J, and my co-host, Keith Omar. Just let me know. He's probably not going to make it, but that's okay because me, Leo, and Troche is in here having us a good old conversation.
She called me Leo.
So don't do that. I did call her Tiffany in the show. It happens every single time.
Every time.
But stick and stay, y'all. We be right back.
Hey, it's your girl, Lady J, and this is a special public service announcement. The Gallery Event Center of Indianapolis, Indiana is now an official partner. If you are a client of mine and you are in need of a venue to book your next event, then book with the Gallery Event Center today, who offers all-inclusive packages at extremely affordable prices. But wait, there's more. You are able to book custom all-inclusive packages that have been tailored exclusively for Lady J's clients. And yes, that includes the Ego Entertainment Network clients too. Connect with me today at ladyj.co to receive your promo code and visit the Gallery Event Center located at 5852 East 82nd Street or call 317-534-6399 and visit their website at thegalleryeventcenter.com. This has been a special public service announcement by Lady J. Love y'all. Deuces. Are you in need of a fresh perspective on relationships, wholeness, love, and transformation? Or are feeling consumed with hurts from the past and finding it difficult to overcome traumatic events? Well, contact licensed marriage and family therapist Sharon Mason of Love That Relationship. She can get you back on the road to building a healthy and loving relationship with yourself and others. Love That Relationship.
All right. So, as y'all can see, I played that commercial twice. Why? Because you need to contact her right now. If you're having relationship problems with friends and family, you know what I'm saying, or your spouse, go ahead, connect with Sharon Mason. And she happens to be one of my very good friends. She's awesome at what she does. And she will definitely help y'all out. Okay. So in our final few minutes of the show, tell me, what are y'all thoughts about family therapy?
I don't think nothing wrong with it. It's just hard to get people to admit that it's an okay thing. A lot of people done judged it from thinking it's something like negative. Yeah, I heard some crazy stuff before that I'm not even gonna repeat, but I was like, what? Like, what did you just say? Like, what?
Like, it's hard to get people to go to regular individual therapy, let alone go to family therapy, because you can't even get people to show up together collectively on time to be there or get on the same accord to be able to do family therapy. So, I mean, I would definitely suggest it if it's something that you could do, but you got to know your people. That's the biggest part.
One dynamic that I noticed in my own family is the cousins, like the kids of the adults. We were able to hash out our problems way better than adults. Like the adults been holding on to stuff that happened when they was kids. Like y'all 50s and 60s, what's wrong with you?
You know why?
We fall out, say what we gotta say. We may even get into a fight, but then we loving it on each other. You know what I'm saying? That's how we were when we were growing up. Now, as life happened, you know what I'm saying, things kind of shifted and changed. But I feel like, I don't know if it's like that for everybody's family, but I think because the older generation, like our parents, so if you like mid 30s to early 40s, you 80s, late 70s into the 80s, baby, I feel like y'all parents got the gist of the hell that their parents went through, that the baby boomers went through, coming out of racism and some of them grew up on slave plantations and stuff like that. So I think that played a big role in how they were not able to navigate like with conflict resolution and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good outlook on that situation. I never even thought about it like that, to be honest. But that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
And I think, as like you said, it was the cousins that were able to resolve their stuff. It's because you kids, you know, you haven't been jaded by life. You ain't experienced nothing, you know. So at that point, you like, oh, okay, you still my friend. I still love you. Give me a hug. And you probably did it when it was no adults around to interfere in that reconciliation or whatever just happened. When adults play in, or when they tap into what's happening with kids, they're going to put all their judgment, all of their resentment, all of their jadedness and everything that they've dealt with in life onto that situation for kids. Just like you see pureness happening, and it could be something beautiful, and adults will be like, that's too grown, bruh. This child is 2 years old. They don't know nothing about what you're talking about. Relax. So that's the part where kids were able to resolve their own issues because they didn't have an adult to bring in all of their life experience into a situation. So it made it a lot easier. True. I definitely understand the part of our parents having a lot of that previous generation's hurt, anger, pain, stress. So they carried it, and they still had to deal with life. So that wasn't an easy burden to carry.
Right.
And even some of us are carrying our parents' burdens, and we don't even know where to begin to break it down, because we don't even recognize, like a lot of us don't even recognize it's our parents' burdens that we're carrying that cause us to be the way that we are. But that takes some time and self-reflection. So get into yourself.
I think though too, when let's just say you are a family and you decide to do family therapy, I think one of the first things that you need to take into account and be mindful of is when you go into therapy, it's not about pointing fingers and saying, well, you did this and you did that and you made me feel like. It's about expressing how you feel about a situation, and then also addressing your own stuff, being accountable for how you responded, because at the end of the day, you are still responsible for your actions. And when you allow people to their actions to change who you are, you know what I'm saying, or to alter and control how you feel, how you think and move, then they now have taken power over you. And so you are no longer in control of yourself. They are in control of you. And so I think that's what you need. When you go into therapy, you need to go into it with a mindset of how do we recognize what the issue is, address it, and then figure out a strategy on what steps we need to take to get through it and then overcome it, instead of acting like the therapist is just a mediator.
Doing all of this.
And all this neck rolling and all of this all the finger pointing. So in the last 4 minutes, tell me, what are some pointers that y'all think that people could use when going in therapy? I know, because myself, I've been in therapy by myself. I haven't had the opportunity to go into it with anybody else. So
you definitely gotta want a change to happen. Like if you going in therapy just to be able, if you going in therapy, let's say if you do go to couples therapy, you can't go in there just to see if the therapist is gonna blame everything on the other person. You know what I'm saying? You gotta want to like make the change happen. You gotta be open to all the insights, all the input, everything. Like you gotta want the situation to get better.
So you basically too, you're saying is they have to be open to hearing what the therapist has to say about their role in it too, and be able to accept that. Oh, what about you, Leo?
I've been in therapy by myself for the last 2 years, and I would just say, like, therapy will break you down, okay? It'll break you down. You be in the corner flicking the light switch, rocking back and forth because therapy then tapped into something that you thought that you forgot, So trying to do and trying to do that with family can cause some situations and some rifts and things like that. But you got to understand that that's where the healing begins. Like, you got to break it all the way down to the bottom. You got to go all the way back to the beginning and then rebuild from there. So you got to be, like Troche said, you got to be open to it. You got to want to see that shift happen and change. And you have to understand that nothing happens overnight in regards to change. That it's gonna be little by little. It's gonna be little by little. And then you're gonna learn skills that'll help you to be able to move forward in that relationship with your family. But you got to go in with the mindset to understand that it ain't gonna happen overnight, but we do want to see this change happen in our family.
And I think too, when you get to the point where you invite family to attend therapy with you or suggest therapy, and if they say no, you have to be okay with that. And also not deprive yourself of the therapy that you know you need just because they won't be a part of it. Yeah. And I know for me, therapy didn't work until I was able to get past the root of the trauma myself, because there were some things that I had to I won't say own, but I had to acknowledge that it did happen. I had to get out of the denial, the denial phase. And once I was able to do that, and then I was able to address that head on. And let me just say too, all family out there, if you want a relationship with your kids, you have to meet those expectations and those standards. If you want a relationship with your kids, especially if you know what they saying is right and it's not harmful to either of you, if you want this kind of relationship with me, then this is what needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you have to get to a point where you are willing to change, because up until this point, who you are and what you've been doing ain't been working for you. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's gonna be painful. I'm telling you that right now. It's not gonna be easy. It's not like Tiffany.
It's okay. Leo said, it's okay. We already know.
It's not a quick fix, and it's not going to be like a breeze or something. It ain't gonna feel good. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna be painful. You're gonna be crying, like Tiffany said. You might be in the corner flicking lights and stuff like that, but it is necessary. It's necessary. And get with somebody too who has been where you've been, because oftentimes we forget too that a lot of therapists are out here being therapists based off theories and what they learned in school and from a book, and they have no clue on what it is that you're going through because they haven't experienced it. And as a psychology major myself, I have mentioned to a lot of my professors that we make sure that alcoholics, drug addicts, and even pregnant women, everybody got somebody, a sponsor or somebody that can identify with what they going through and stuff like that. They partner them with people who's already been there. Why don't we do that for people who have mental health, issues or situations in life? They need to know. That's why they feeling like they're the only one.
Both of y'all crazy. No, I'm just playing. You know what I did when I was crazy? Let me tell you something. Y'all gonna be out here giving each other ideas.
I was out here swinging from bridges.
But think about how important or how impactful that would have been for my father if he had met another man whose mother wasn't in his life, and she chose maybe another man and her other kids, over him, and he was able to share how he got through that. And how an adoptive mother or another mother, he was able to love her. Imagine how impactful that would have been in his life. Maybe he would have never became a drug addict in middle school.
That's true.
And has been one his entire life.
You're on to something.
Think about that.
You're on to something.
So
not with that voice.
She's on to something. I mean, I have to say it that way because
Not with that look either.
she's on to something.
So this has been a good conversation, y'all. We are down to the last 3 minutes. So you want to give your final thought?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I mean, in everything that we do in life, we have to be aware of what it is that we want in the long run. You want to heal relationships, then you got to tackle them with the idea of, I want this to be better. But you also have to understand not everybody wants better when it comes to relationships or, your family.
Mhm.
Also, you got to go into a lot of these situations sometimes with an open heart. You might get hurt, you might cry, you might bleed a little bit, but at the end of the day, if it's something that you really want, go in it with the open mind, but also go in it with boundaries set for how much and how long you'll be willing to take what's being given to you. That's my thoughts.
Okay, orator. Okay.
I mean, I get a little deep sometimes,
Yeah, she read me a couple weeks ago. Now she just thinks she know everything. But
No, I just be tuned in. I be listening.
Troche, what you got for the people?
If you want to see real change, put legit effort into it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to see a situation get better, like, do your part the best way you could do your part. Like, for real. Don't half-ass it, whole ass it.
That is not how she said
it. That's it, though, G. That's it.
Nah, don't play around. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like you really putting in that work when you really not putting in that work. For real. That's it, man. That's all I got.
All right, and I'm gonna agree with what both of them said. And my final thoughts is gonna be, stop feeling like you have to live with toxicity. I don't care who it is. If they're your biological family, your mama, daddy, cousin, uncle, auntie, brother, sister, whoever, you do not have to accept that just because they are blood. God allows everybody to go through certain things in life for a reason, and none of us are meant to sit on it. So when you encounter other people who have experienced what you've experienced and have overcome that, or have been that person that wasn't treating people so well, and they had to change, and he allows them to come into your life to be family, then you have to be willing to accept that and make sure that that's sufficient and enough. Because again, you can end up like, saying like my dad or other people like that, where you're not cognizant of the fact that holding on is ruining you. So, but their family, y'all stop saying that. Stop saying it. Ain't no but. If you don't let other people do you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's everybody. Anybody. They don't get a pass just because they birthed you. That's it. That's all I got. So thank y'all for tuning in to Relationshipology tonight. Catch us. We won't be on next Friday because we will be gearing up for the Her Lies His Secrets show in Fort Wayne with a Celebrity All-Star cast. And make sure y'all tune in this coming Thursday at 12 noon right here on JQLM Radio. We're going to have Professor Oglesby.
Hey, Professor Oglesby.
We're going to have Omar Gooding in here. We're going to have Trey Ireland. We're going to have Prison Bay. And we're going to have Jamal Wooler, who played Biggie.
Hey,
yeah, so make sure that y'all tune in next Thursday, and they will all be at the event, and we'll be at the after party as well with them. And make sure y'all tune into the Fat Girl Chronicles every Tuesday night right here on JQLM Radio from 8 to 10, and Between the Lines on Wednesdays, 6:05 to 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. Thank y'all for rocking with. What? Also, what?
If you're in the Indianapolis area tomorrow, catch PHNWB at Bar 79. We about to tear the building down, man. Come on, come out, man. It's gonna be a good show, man. Hope to see y'all there.
My bad. Go ahead and plug yourself. Tell everybody real quick where they can follow y'all.
It's Troche everywhere. ITSTROCHE everywhere on any social media platform. Type that in, I pop up.
Pretty much the same. You can follow me, Leo Rochelle. That's LEORACHEL. On Facebook, And on Instagram is LEORACHEL _ because people out here stealing my name or the letters.
I got 2 underscores.
_.
So, and last but not least, you can follow me. Just go to ladyj.co. All of my social media links are there. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, ladyj.co, or Lady J Brand on LinkedIn at Lady J. And last but not least, I keep telling Troche to do this. If you need a jingle for your brand or a show, intro for your podcast, something written for a movie or whatever, hey, hit him up. I'm telling y'all, he is awesome. Go to istroche.com. That's ITSTROCHE.com.
Appreciate that, because I definitely be forgetting.
All right, y'all. And remember that when you do it together, you either fall or fly. All right. This has been Relationshipology with your girl, Lady J, right here on JQLM Radio, a division of Ego Entertainment Network. And we are out.
Peace.
2 fingers.
Lady J gonna
The inspiration for the songs because of you. The inspiration for the songs because of you.